I'm giving you 10 seconds. Get your little popcorn or whatever. If you're putting your AirPods in, because, this was a good one. This one's a good one. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Here we go. Welcome back, Henchy. Another episode of security stuff. I appreciate everyone who's hit me telling me that this is needed. They like what they're hearing, and I should keep going. Much love. A lot of times people won't reach out to you. It's just life. People won't tell you that they're seeing what you're doing or they like it or it's needed. So I appreciate everyone who does. Today's a special one. I'm going to talk about security as a family and security and having a family, right? And I'm gonna, if time allows, it's such a big one. If time allows, I'll do it all together. If it doesn't, I might have to do a part two, because there's two versions of it for like event security. So clubs, pubs, festivals, static parties, whatever, and close protection. So you're looking at bodyguards, touring, RSTs, that's residential security. Yeah, it's tough. So the easiest one. It's the easiest one. The quicker version, the quicker side. So remember, security as a family. Where I live now is a little bit different to my children are. I've moved out of London, and the area I now live in, everyone's really well spoken, and my children are becoming a lot more well spoken. So I find myself being convicted when I don't pronounce my T's.
Oh my God.
And a few other things. So if you hear me sound like I'm having a vocal battle with myself, a verbal battle with myself, mind your business.
Wow.
So security as a family and security and having a family. Security as a family is amazing. But as every family tends to be, there will always be issues.
Jesus Christ, what is this
There
one
is
now?
no family unit that is always harmonious. In fact, sometimes, not always, the harmony of the family comes in the issues that the family encounter and then resolve, and it makes them stronger. And that's what's going to happen with your security family. The issues that you will encounter are more often than not going to be the same in every security family. These are the characters that you will always have in every security team. So your security team is your security family. These are the characters that you're going to have. 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 times, there is a star of the show. There's always a star of the show. For some teams, he's the anxious one. For some teams, he's the most handsome, most approachable, or she's the most attractive. Whether that could just be a face or has the most desirable body. And that's a thing, because people, especially now where social media has made us so aesthetically glued in, we look at what people look like, and we don't know that subconsciously we've determined that I like this person because they have the kind of body I would like to have, or that I've seen and I recognize that I like that type of body. Oh, that person has it. Men and women. Women, don't let these men fool you. You guys are just a larger market for this because society preys on beauty standards for women. That's a whole nother topic, and it's not my lane. But it happens to men too. And I'll tell you why. This is the ease. Everyone will relate to this, especially people in the gym world. Most men, whether they like it or not, have gone to the gym to get better bodies because they think it will improve their chances with women. I say most because there are men that go to the gym because they want stronger bodies, because they have issues they have to deal with that involve maybe violence or intimidation. But most of the time, men and women want to get a better body to improve their chances with the opposite or the same sex. When women get really good bodies or improve their bodies, women celebrate them and men celebrate them. A man will come and chat you up, as men are supposed to do. That's what was socialized. Men chase women. Men think when they get better bodies that all the women are going to start hollering. They don't. When men get better bodies physically, it's the man then. Way more men talk to me. No, in fact, 99%, pause, this is a big pause, but 99.9% of compliments I get about my physique are from men. And it's not that women don't identify that I have a good physique or that I'm stronger than them, their dad and their uncle and their man combined, because I am. They just won't say anything because that's how they're socialized, excuse me. Sometimes, every so often, a woman might, let me not say will, might, but they drop it in a joke or whatever, or, do you know what I mean? Or just moving wayward. Wayward. But you see, hey, big man, you're wham still. Hey, brother. Oh, how long did it take you to get like that, bro? Oh, what'd you bench, bro? Nah, bro. I'm trying to be like you, bro. Hey, cuz you need bigger t-shirts, you know, bro. Right, what's man been eating all the weights? Yeah. Brother, just say you look good, you know, bro. Thanks. Appreciate it. I'll tell you what. Let me move on. Because that's gonna go on for ages. Anyway, so most teams have a character that's physically at an advantage than the rest of the team. Do you know the one I love and hate at the same time? The member of the team that's ridiculously tall. Them beanstalk, man. The lamppost brothers. What are you doing all the way up there, my guy? What's the point? Why? How? What's really going on? Who's your dad? The Eiffel Tower? Bro, I can't. If I have to raise my. Oh, bro, I can't even say raise my neck like that when I'm talking about guys. That's crazy. Do you know what? Let me take this 10 seconds to hail up everyone in social media that's doing their thing and has had some type of impact, whether positive or negative. But you can't avoid, for this era of content creation, what Spray's achieved in amplifying. And I say amplifying because he didn't start it, but he amplified the why for that. That's crazy, because it's actually in a lot of our consciousness now. You can't say certain things, even if you don't voice it, that you just thought, pause. It's in your head. Pause. See? So hail up Spray and the whole RTM gang still. And hail up the man them that's been just doing their thing from time. Like, yeah, I respect it. Anyway, let's get back to work. So there's always a character that's ultra tall. Shout out some of the man them in the CP world that some of you will know Stephen, that is KSI's bodyguard. Steve's taller than Mason. No, Mason's taller than Steve. I think Steve's like 6'9". What's going on? And then Stretch is Paul Logan CP. He's what, 6'10"? Mason's reputation, he's done everyone. That sounds crazy. He's an old school name. He's 6'11". Now I'm 6 foot. If I have to work with these, man, it makes man look super crazy, like I'm a toddler. Like, bro, a man is he's 7. You round it up, he's 7 foot. There's always that character. As I said, there's the wham guys. There's always the wham guys. There's the tall guys. That one's just. There are the guys that are just. They have the gift of the gab. They can talk to anyone. There's always that member of the security team that can talk to absolutely anyone. You could be from anywhere. You could be going through anything. Whenever they speak, it always seems to have the right effect. There's always that team member. most security teams will have that team member that's always late, if not multiple. And some of these personalities might be the same person. A man might be tall and hench and late and always know how to talk to people. It's possible. I'm not saying it can't be true, but definitely two things can be true at the same time for some people. There's always someone that's late. And I'm going to dwell on that. Your lateness compromises us. Your lateness definitely compromises the team. It compromises the family. It's a letdown, even though sometimes people accept that you have this trait. They shouldn't. It's a flaw. It's a character flaw on you. I don't buy into that whole black people timing. The black people I know are punctual. The professionals I know, they're on time because they know the value of time. I charge you for my time. I'm not going to disrespect you by not giving you the time I've contracted with you for. You can't be late in my line of work with the clients I have. So there are sometimes, and I can say this loud and clear to people that know me because I've told you in person if it applies to you. Oh, Henchy, I'd love to work with you. Right now, you can't, bro. You're late. You're always late. I can't send you on a job with WizKid, Big Wiz. I can't send you on a job with Thames. Shout out Aaron who looks after Thames currently. Like I can't. If Aaron says to me, "Yo, Hench, I need support on this. Do you have anyone?" Boom, boom, boom. Because I know we're gonna be. I can't send you, bro. If you're late, you're representing me. I wouldn't be late. And if you're known for being late, you can't come, bro. I have friends that look after Arnie or Robert. Bro, imagine asking someone to work with you on Robert De Niro, and man's late.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna name drop here so hard. Not yet. Ooh, no. I found a way around. I was recently contacted to do something for a member of Bob Marley's family. Yes. I'm so proud of that. Thank you to the person who thought of me and called my name when I wasn't there. That is a family that has musical legacy, political legacy, and a worldwide impact. Historical impact. Henchy, I've given your number to so-and-so. Could you please? And then I love when people say this to me as well, because I say this to people. Henchy, this means a lot to me. That's them saying to me, don't mess it up. Not that I would, but they add that because it's serious. I take it serious. I spoke to the person that was necessary and I found out what they needed. And even though I'm always the best man for the job, and I say that with confidence, it was more important for me to send someone else. Because although I am the best man for the job, I think the job, let me take that back. I'm always the best man for the job in my mind, but what the job actually needs isn't always everything I offer. And sometimes some of you lot have to accept that. Let's discuss that now. Let's quickly unpack that. I am good at what I do in every situation. But every situation doesn't need me. There are situations where a deterrent is needed, and I am the man for the job. There are situations where a strong man is needed, I'm the man for the job. An intelligent man is needed, I'm the man for the job. An inconspicuous man is needed, I am not the man for that job. Nothing about me looks inconspicuous. If you are 6'99", nothing about you looks inconspicuous. You're not the man for that job. It's okay. You're better off saying, do you know what? I'm going to send you someone who operates like me, but can blend in. Big man, don't. I've been on jobs pretending like I could blend in. I didn't. Just because earning that money sometimes is what kills us, because the money, the money. No, how about let me give them the best service? Repeat custom is how you get rich. Recommendation, providing the quality you spoke about. So, although I believe, and I'm right, I can be the best man for the job. I am the best man for the job. The job doesn't always need my best manism. So I sent them someone that was 100 times more culturally in tune with Jamaican culture. Shout out my family who went for me. Don't get sidetracked. We're talking about punctuality here. And we're talking about the opportunity I just recently had to work with somebody in Bob Marley's family. Naturally, the rule of thumb for me is, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. So the person who was representing me, the reason I'm not saying his name is because I don't know if I can talk about this job yet. I haven't got clearance for that. Anything you see me talk about freely, I either A, have clearance for, or B, there's public information, it's public knowledge already. So that's why. So if you see me being a little bit, because I'm not sure, this was very, very recent. So anyway, big up my bro that went. Rasta. He operates just like I do. So obviously he was early. He had got there really early, done some recon, did some advances. Now, we were assisting the Marley family, this member of the Marley family. The CP that was with them was late. You are looking after a member of the Marley family and you are late. We are wait. Imagine being the client of this caliber on an important day for an important show, and everybody is wait. All right, let me give you guys perspective on, because sometimes it sounds like I might be decorating things or giving it more seasoning. When you're dealing with especially celebrity artists, and I say we're all waiting on you, it's not like the artist, a friend, and their manager. Makeup might be two people. Styling might be two people. Let's just say they're one. So you have makeup, styling, sometimes manager and booking agent, sometimes just manager. Actual artist, maybe a friend, maybe two. Driver, maybe family, maybe partner, maybe maybe partner everyone knows about, maybe partner no one knows about. Who else might be involved? Liaison. I've counted at least 6 people, and no one is able to move because you, the CP, the bodyguard, the person who's meant to protect them, are late. Late. If you don't value your own time, if you can't honor your own time, how do you convince me that you're going to honor my safety when it comes to it? The first evidence of you honoring the fact that you're capable of looking after me is by being on time. It's just keeping your word. So, as I said, every security family has that one character that's always late. But I want to say that lateness is not greatness. It's not on. Don't you guys, and we are the ones that for whatever reason, socially, we've accepted it and we make light of it. I've been in situations people have been told to go home, and I love that. And I like learning from other people's mistakes. I was there, a man turned up late. They said, "No, thank you for coming. You can go. You're late. You're bound by a contract. You're late. Go home." And it's in the terms. You don't get no money. You broke the terms of the contract. Go home. How dare you be late? You don't value your time. Don't come and disrespect our time. And if you really value money, I remember someone one time was saying what they used to do, just so that they still got the service out of the people, they dock their wages based on how late the people were. Cool. Now, because obviously it might be too late to get someone to replace them or whatever. But if time is money and you're all about, I'm going to get this money and I'm going to do, how can you be late then? Anyway, don't be late, guys. It's a terrible, bro, it's disgusting. Lateness is disgusting. And there are incidents that are out of your control. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about, I took the mo I was on the M25 once and I had a choice to take another road or this route I took on the M25. I should have come off. No, I should have. I could have come off somewhere else. But I was like, this is definitely the quicker route. 10 minutes in, it's standstill. Some bozo would crash their car. Because I know what I'm charging the client. How do you explain being late? But when I say to you, the God that I serve made a way. I'm not talking about those uncontrollable moments, although you're actually trained to factor that in. That's why, as crazy as it sounds, I'm going to say this for bodyguards, if you're a bodyguard and you've got a job and you plan to be somewhere 15 minutes early, you haven't given yourself enough time for anything to happen. Remember, anything happening, just be wild, bro. Use your imagination. Look, people think anything happening means you couldn't find your phone or your keys for 5 minutes. I've still got time. No, anything happening means there is a bomb has gone off on the route you were going to take and now you've had to be rerouted. Or a car crash has happened, the road's now closed, and it's going to take an extra 45 minutes to get through the aftermath of the traffic. Will you still make it? Do you understand what I'm saying? Anything happen, if you've only given yourself 15 minutes to maneuver, you're really late. Do you understand? So giving yourself room for anything might happen. And I love when I've gotten to places in good time and someone's gone, "Oh, bro, Brigman, you're an hour and a half early. What are you going to do? Just sit here?" Yeah. I'm on the clock. But more importantly, the advantage that I have to learn the venue, to look at the clientele coming in and out, to look out for threats, to go over my plan and my backup plan with the peace of mind that I'm already here. You can't buy that. Let me not get sidetracked. Well, that's another video. See the lateness thing? That's another video. We'll do that. So anyway, there's always the character that's late. That compromises the team. I really don't like that. There's always the character in the security team, security family, that I call the short fuse. That character is a liability. It pains me to say that there are very, 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 very rare occasions where that character is useful. Very. When I was doing the doors, there were some moments where there was no room to maneuver. Some people came, just to set it off on the man them, or on the door, or on the venue, for whatever reason. On that day, short fuse is necessary. On that day. But other than that, in general, the short fuse character of the team, bad idea. Get rid of them, swap them out. Don't put them at the front. Don't put them, yep, no, sorry, not doing it. So these are all there's always the complainer. Oh my Lord, there is always the complainer. Complains about everything. Absolutely everything. Nothing can seem to make them happy. Will you keep quiet? There's always the flirt. Most security teams have the flirt.
Oh my God.
That could be flirting with customers or flirting with other members of staff. People might not want to admit this, but it's probably because it might be you. If you're the one that doesn't want to admit that. Most teams have one or have had one. Remember, what I'm saying here is very generic. I'm generalizing here. I'm not saying that's what's happening in your security team now, but I'm saying in most security teams, it's either happened or has happened before. You will find the majority of these characters exist. And it could all be one person. It could be multiple people that have multiple characteristics. So don't take it personal. This is my experience that I'm sharing with you. But to go back to where we started from, once you identify the different characters within your security family, it's the job of the security team leader, the head of security, to figure out how to intelligently use the different skills and the different characteristics of these people to get the best result every night, or every day, or every time they operate. And that's not easy. People sometimes think, oh, you're just telling people what to do. No, I'm not just telling people what to do. I'm also managing how you behave, not just with the public, but with each other. One of the first and the best things I was taught first day of my training was that knowing how to manage relationships and knowing how to manage personalities will get you further than always standing up to people. And I said, huh? To say standing up to people means people are trying to chuck it. Yes, people will try and chuck it. But you can diffuse someone chucking it because you've seen the play. What's the bigger picture here for you? What's the bigger picture? Proving to whoever you're talking to that you're not an idiot, you're not a complex, and they're not gonna have one over you, or giving them allowing them to have this false sense of they've won this battle so that you can actually get them to behave in the way you want and working in the position that you've asked them to for the length of time you've asked them to, so that your night goes well, so that you keep the contract, so that you keep getting paid, so that your reputation grows. That's the bigger picture. What do you care about more? Or do you have that standoff and then the rest of the night doesn't go so well, or the rest of the event doesn't go so smoothly, or the team, there's a strong fracture in the team that you can't mend? So the ability to sometimes, let me tell you something about, if you want to work for yourself in the security world, let me tell you something that some people won't tell you. Being a CP, or just being a self-employed, even just being employed by someone else in the security world, if you hold on to every time, if you hold on to every single disrespect or every single attempt of someone else that you're working with or for to get one over you, you're not going to last long. If you just bought and sold, let me tell you what happens if you're just a buyer and a seller. The buyer goes out to find a product and they want to buy it for the cheapest price possible. The seller goes out to sell a product and they want to sell it for the highest price possible. They clash, so they negotiate, right? Wherever they come to is what they come to. And sometimes a buyer might walk away happy or sad, but they've got the product they want. A seller might walk away happy or sad, but they got some money. In the security world, unfortunately, where you give a service, you, the seller, if you're unhappy for whatever reason with the money you've negotiated, you still have a second stage for your process because you still have to deliver this service. And unfortunately, you can't afford to compromise on how you deliver your service because your reputation matters. But the buyer, once they've given you the money or they've agreed the rate, their bit's done. I hope I'm transferring what I'm saying properly. If I was just buying a phone off you, £10, nah, give me 50. Never. I'll give you 15. Nah, give me 20. I'll give you 19. Bro, that's crazy. All right, boom. You give me the phone, I've given you £19. You're not happy, but I guess £19 will do. I'm happy because I paid £19. I probably already had 25 earmarked, but I saved myself a little money. We're finished. It's done. I'm going to enjoy the phone. You're going about your business. Come and look after me for the day. Come and look after my venue for the day. Come and look after my pub, my restaurant, my jewelry shop for the day. Bro, that's going to be £25 an hour, please. Oh, come on, bro. That's crazy. £25 an hour. Bro, I found out that these men are paying £12.50. You might want to go and talk to them. Now, come on, bro. Say another word and it's £30 an hour. Now, come on, bro. Look, all right, cool. Let's do it. So you now agree on £18 an hour. They've agreed that they have it, they'll pay you. They might not like it, but their bit's done. You've agreed that if you're unhappy, if you're happy, great. But if you're unhappy, your unhappiness will probably be compounded whilst you're on the job because you still have to deliver for as many hours as you've agreed the level of service. And this is where people go wrong. You're not delivering the level of service that the money you've received is worth. You're delivering the level of service that the standard you've set for yourself is worth. I've given some people a presidential level service without receiving a presidential level wage. But it's not about them, it's about my reputation. And what now happens is, because the president himself doesn't know your name, if I'm using the analogy here, and probably will never find out. But the chief of staff, when, like what happened to me when a phone call was made and they said, no, this number I'm going to send you is Henchy, phone him, he's the best. The chief of staff will now say in another room, in another place, actually there's a guy or there's a girl, phone them. Because the level, it's not, no one remembers the money they paid you, bro. They remember the level of service you provided. The people that have the money have the money. Let me tell you the thing about the money issue in when it comes to security. You can't ever really place what's the right value to place on swapping my safety for yours. If we go through people's skill sets or the risk people take or the time people take or the inconvenience people, remember this is about family. When I get to, we're still talking about security as a family. When I get to talking about, this might even be a good way to move on to it, security and family, you can't Do you think there is a monetary equivalent to me not being with my children? Do you think there's a monetary equivalent for the disappointment when I don't go to my child's play, performance, birthday? For those of you who have husbands and wives, girlfriends, so comment, let me know if you think there's a monetary equivalent that satisfies your wife or husband that sleeps. They left their options, their other options, their family members, whatever, chose to marry you, and now they're sleeping in a bed alone at night because you're on tour. Have you ever had to have your anniversary on FaceTime for 3 minutes and then you've got to go because you're with a client? I'm not asking anyone to feel sorry for anyone. I'm trying to say to you that the money thing isn't the real issue. There's no value. You can't really say there's an amount of money. There's an amount of money you will accept. Does not mean that there's an amount of money that adequately suffices. There is an amount of money I will accept to not be at that play. It's the truth. Take that how you will. There's an amount of money you will accept. Some of you are accepting way lower than what you'd actually accept. We're not the first. We won't be the last. We're not the only one. Since the beginning of time, humans have been working overtime. Mine's just on the road with a client. Some men are in their office. Some men sleep in their office overnight in the city. I'm not the only one. The musicians that I'm looking after aren't at home. High-end men, businessmen, businesswomen, high-end people, important people, rich people, political people, that travel around the world constantly for work, for business, for whatever reason, in whatever industry where people are in the upper echelon of getting it done, you are not at home a lot. That's why I laugh sometimes when with social media when people are talking about a rich person, this and that. Look, people can make time for you because they care about you, but that time will still be restricted heavily because they are important. They are actually a key part of keeping things going in their field or getting things done. It doesn't matter how much your man loves you. If he's the governor of a state or the president of a country, he has things to do. There are some CEOs of some countries, of some companies that are just as important or very nearly just as important as people who run the countries they live in. So if you're looking after someone of that caliber, I met I'm not going to say his name. I met the CP who looks after um, Jack Dorsey, who used to own Twitter, who founded Twitter, used to own Twitter. Incredible guy. And we were sharing stories about what we've missed out on. Oh my God. And I like talking to people who are really deep in this industry, because we would all love to have a Jack Dorsey client or a Mark. Could you imagine who looks after Mark Zuckerberg or whoever looks after Elon Musk or people of that ilk? Sometimes it also kind of reminds me: be careful what you wish for. You might not be able to satisfy that role. There are some roles where, I'll be honest with you, you can't phone the client talking about, I don't know if I can make it today. My daughter's got temperature. First of all, you're gonna find out about your daughter's temperature via text because you're gonna be on the same hotel floor as the client anyway in the first place, or you're living in on the grounds that the client lives. You're not at home coming to. You're not. If we're talking about that caliber of client, you find out about your daughter's temperature by text too, or WhatsApp. Just say a quick prayer with your daughter over FaceTime. Keep it moving and just stay updated. If you know that you need to be physically present all the time, I want to be physically present, but I don't need to. If you're fortunate, I'm going to say, if you're fortunate, have children with somebody that you trust and know they will look after your child well when you're not there. Because if you're going to be a high level, top level CP, top level security operative, you're going to spend many days away from home. And the better you are, the the better the service you provide, the more your reputation grows, the more you'll be away from home. The more successful an artist is, what happens? They get more bookings. What happens with more bookings? They stay away from home longer. Oh well, then I just won't be as successful. Cool, that might work for you. Then you just be mediocre for the rest of your life. That's cool. I'm going to use that to pivot to security and having a family quickly, and then come back to security as a family. When I was interviewed before I did my training for my level 3 qualification, and the course director said to me, I'd not long been married when I went for this interview, and the course director said to me, "How do you feel about divorce?" I was like, "What?" He said, "How do you feel about divorce?" And I was like, I don't understand the question. He said, "I'm on my third one. How do you feel about divorce?" Because I hate to say this to you, but if you're going to be a top level CP and you have the potential, there aren't many women that will stick with you long term. The Nigerian in my head, I was like, I bind it in the name of Jesus. In the accent as well, I bind it in the name of Jesus. Whatever demon has followed you will not follow me. Da, 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 da. First of all, your first divorce, I understand. Your second divorce, brother, why did you get married the third time if you know that you can't? Anyway, I said to him, so my answer was, I'm paraphrasing here, like, oh no, I think I'll do my best to find a balance and see how we can do it. My wife, understanding, she wishes the best for me, and he laughed. Anyway, we moved on. Um, I want to credit my wife for the patience she showed throughout my career, and I want you to know that the day she the day she shot me verbally with a bullet was the day she said this: "You do everything to go over and beyond for your client every time." Can you say you've done that for me? I didn't have an answer. I knew what the answer was. The answer was no. I couldn't say that. I definitely cannot say that. Because we've been in bed together and a call comes and I've got to go. I'm a top flight CP. What? We're leaving? Let's go. We made plans for dinner. Okay. And don't, let me tell you something. That whole, oh, we made plans for dinner. We made plans for the trip. No, here's the money, babe. Go. Yeah, have a good time. I know I'm sorry. No, it's not enough. The stuff doesn't change anything. Them having the experience by themselves or with their girlfriends wasn't what they were dreaming of or hoping for. The idea was that you should share these moments together. So you saying, yeah, but I paid for you and yeah, okay, cool. She's got her own money. She can do that herself. Let's be honest. And even if she hasn't, the point is it's meant to be done with you. So we had plans to do this either together or as a family, and now you're not there. It really changes the dynamics. A 4 hour day that's turned into a 28-hour day. You were supposed to come home how many hours ago? And let me tell you something. Sometimes, regardless of the fact that the truth of the matter is, it was the most mundane, boring task in the world, the most jarring task in the world. Because I probably spent 8 hours standing outside a hotel room or standing outside a lounge or a private members room, or even if I was in the room or at this restaurant or at this wherever mansion, there could have been a million things happening. Those million things aren't happening for me. I have to be alert the whole time. Everyone's a threat until they prove otherwise. I am having zero fun. I'm not smoking. I'm not drinking. I'm not getting a stiff wine. None of the above. Regardless of whether that's the case or not, to them, and sometimes it's inevitable, your spouse, the other half, will look at images of whoever you're looking after. If you're looking after an entertainment celebrity, those parties on social media look cool. They look so litty. They look crazy. Do you know what? A few years ago, I was watching some of the videos and I was like, if I was my missus, I would think the women always seem to be wearing nothing in the videos. I'm like, but there were so many women that were dressed. How come all these women look naked? The videos always portray a particular view. And so how do you convince the other person you're with that you're having zero? First of all, just in a regular relationship, women just don't like their boyfriends having fun without them. So for your spouse and it's probably the same for men as well, because I've spoken to women in the music industry who have partners. The music industry, I mean, at a level where they travel a lot, or especially if you're dealing with a specific artist and you're on the road a lot, the boyfriends are like, imagine having a conversation with your boyfriend and then he just hears a deep voice in the background. That deep voice might be me saying to you, well, wheels up in 5 minutes, or we got a 10-minute break or whatever, but he all he's got is a deep voice. Who's that? Do you know the amount of who's that I've heard? And I'm just like, the worst, don't even try and get man on the phone to explain that you're nobody. Just, it's really, the point I'm making, it's really hard for the person who's not there to know what it's like. And of course, there are going to be temptations. I'm not even denying that there are temptations. I'm not denying that. But what I'm talking about is how crazy it seems to the other person, because they're never there in person. What any kind of visual scenario they get or they're painted mostly comes from social media or the artist's concert tapes or whatever, and it just looks like it was a madness. It's not a madness for me. I'm at work. In fact, I am consistently turning the madness away. My job is to mute the madness. And there's madnesses, plural. Is it doable to be a CP as a family man, as someone in a relationship? It is doable, but you will sacrifice one of two things or both. You will sacrifice some really good jobs to spend more time with your family, or you will sacrifice some really good family time to get some really good jobs. You will do one or both. It's just the way it is. I want to say to you now, and if you love your family like I do, you will probably never be the fullest. You will never achieve the fullness of your potential. I will tell you that for free now. Because to achieve the fullness of your potential, you have to walk away from your family a few times, more than a few times. It is ideal for a single man. Whew! If you are single and you can just throw yourself into your work, do it now. Single and young, jump in. You will see. Let me tell you, it's got all the things a young single person needs. The ability to work long hours, undistracted. You travel the world. You meet the people you probably dreamed about, whatever. Like, you're at the best places. You get all the experiences, and you owe no one the responsibility of your time with them or reporting to them. There's a difference. Reporting to them is, there are sometimes some incidents might happen at work where if you were single, it's just an incident at work. If you're someone that's with someone else, there is a moral dilemma, like, is this something I should report back? Because will this become a thing at a future date? Or just, if I was the other person, do I feel like this is something they should know about? So if you are single and you want to get into the security industry, absolutely dive in. If you are single and you have plans to start a family, get as much of the security industry as you can whilst you're single, especially when you don't have any children. If you're already with someone, there's ways around it. But as I said to you, to realize your fullest potential, you're going to have to make sacrifices. And it might, some days, the sacrifice will be the job. Some days the sacrifice will be your family. It's a rock and a hard place. You just have to choose. You just have to choose. Um, um, I remember when I met Jay-Z. Now, bear in mind, I'm an 80s baby. Grew up in the 90s. I was a big Rockefeller. What? Rockefeller. Jay-Z. I'm talking Jay-Z, Dame Dash, Biggs Burke, Rockefeller. I'm talking Big Pimpin' Rockefeller. I really, when I met Jay-Z, I thought to myself, that was one of the moments where I was like, I made the right choice when I chose to be a CP. Because people that I thought about when I was growing up, what's going on in my house? I'm trying to film a video and I can hear man singing happy birthday in the next room. Like, I'm not filming a video. Am I being respected enough? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't care whose birthday it is. They could do it after I finish the video. Or they could do it quietly. I'm gonna have to have words. This is like 2 videos in a row they've done this. All right, moving on. So yeah, when I met Jay-Z, I was like, I've met Beyonce a couple of times. That's not, I'm not knocking that, but I was a Jay-Z fan. I enjoy, I respect, I support Beyonce. Whoo! Yeah, okay. Big up her CP as well, Julius, high level. Next thing, And it's weird because I still haven't met Julius, but that's another story. I'll tell you a story about Julius one day. But Jay-Z, I was a Jay-Z fan growing up. What? Young boys getting it. Man hustled, made his way, became a businessman, not just an artist. And then now he became the OG in the industry. And it's like, you look at how he's maneuvered. I even saw something he said the other day where it was like, most of the people that have a gripe with him, their issue with him is always what he hasn't done for them, not something he's done to them. And I was like, jeez, chico. And I'm not, this isn't me deriding pause or nothing like that. It's just, you can't ignore the achievement, the movement from coming from a low income, low level environment to being a musical boss, a corporate boss, having a cultural impact. Anyway, I was actually, at the time I was on tour with SZA. I'm going to have words in this house. At the time I was on tour with SZA, flew back into, this was when Beyonce had a show at Tottenham Stadium in London, flew back in, got changed. On the day I was looking after Thames, big up Thames every time, big up Muyiwa, my family. And we went to the show and we were in Jay-Z's private personal riser. Big up Buck, my brother Buck was there. Daniel Kaluuya was there. Who else can I remember? But I'm at work, so I'm at work, professional. But it's Beyonce show, and it was meaningful for me because sometimes you also, I don't know if this happens to you. You kind of, if you've ever imagined, I wonder what it'd be like if I met this person or met that person. Never in my mind would I have assumed, because I've been traveling the world through work. So I'm like, oh, maybe if I might meet so and so. If I do meet them, maybe I'll meet them in Monaco, or maybe I'll meet them in New York, or maybe I'll meet them in, wherever. But never in my mind did I think I'll meet Jay-Z in Tottenham. I'm from Tottenham. Like, we're in Tottenham. Anyway, Ace of Spades, riser, and I'm at work, well positioned. I can see everything. It's a calm night. They've done like the little warm up bits, like the music's flowing, the stadium's filling up. Beyonce starts. It's going crazy. Sean Carter walks onto this riser with a couple of his mates, and the security that was with him didn't even walk all the way up the riser. But I remember his face because he had already been up, had a look, whatever. Really good at his job. I can't remember his name. But Sean Carter comes up, Jay-Z, and he goes to greet everybody individually on the riser because it's his. So Jay-Z has his own riser at his wife's show. And there's another riser for special VIPs. So there's two risers, but this is his one. I don't know whether he went to the other one. I wasn't focused with that. My client say I'm focused on my client. Obviously, I've had to, every time someone walks up onto this rider, I'm paying attention because my client's here. So now Jay-Z's come up and he's saying hi to everyone, and I'm just like, this is surreal. I very obviously look like I'm at work, but Jay-Z comes up to me, shakes my hand. How you doing? So I'm very well. Like, and it's weird because I'm not even on the fanboy thing. And I wasn't nervous. It wasn't like, but I had a moment where do I say, because I'm at work still, so I'm not going to let myself down. Do I say nice to meet you, Jay-Z, or do I say nice to meet you, Mr. Carter? I went for Mr. Carter. I think I said Mr. Carter. Nice to meet you, Mr. Carter. So he had a look on his face as well, because most people probably call him Jay-Z. So he was like, and then he offered me a bottle of Ace of Spades, a bottle. I was like, no, cancel that. He offered me some champagne, and I said no. He didn't offer me a bottle. I was offered a bottle later on, but I said no, thank you, I'm at work. So, In that moment, I was like, is this some type of indication that I'm getting to the levels that I hoped I would? I want you to know at that point, I hadn't seen my family for maybe, because I was on the road previously, maybe 6 days, 5 or 6 days. And finishing from that job, I had to go somewhere else. So I went to try and get an hour to share that I'd just been at the stadium with Thames at Beyonce's show, and I met Jay-Z, and like, what a moment. How is everyone? Bro, it wasn't cuddles, you know? It wasn't cuddles. Because no matter how much your work looks or feels like to you, you're having that experience. The experience your family's having is that you're not there. The kicker is you're doing all these things because you want to provide for that family. So you don't actually get to win per se. There's no win-win for you. It's a rock and a hard place. I'm doing all this. I've had a consistent 5, 6 days of non-stop working because I want to be able to provide for this family that I care about so much. But even though this family understands, it doesn't change the fact that it's not the same when you're not there. So they can't have the same level of enthusiasm you have for any experience you've had that you liked at work. So have a think about being separated from the people you love if you want to become a close protection operative. I haven't even begun to scratch the surface. Security as a team, as a family, yes, family feuds, but there's a member of the family that needs to know how to glue everyone back together. There are some families that will break down and just won't be repairable. That's just the way of the world. Sometimes it's actually necessary to remove one member of a team permanently so that the rest of the team can have some cohesion. You have to make that call if you're the team leader. And what's in the overall health of the family is more important than satisfying that one person's need. Slap the subscribe, slap the notification, slap your neighbor if they haven't slapped the subscribe. Ask me some questions, slap them in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.